Okay, the chorus, if you've already done the verse, is extremely easy compared to before, but I'm changing it up yet again to tackle all those advancing guitarists out there who would like a bit of a challenge. Now you could play the verse chords exactly how you played it in the verse, but doubling the speed of it. So instead of playing each one 4 times, you only play it twice. So starting with 2 and then 2, 1, through the chords, F sharp minor and then the D major at the end. However, for those who want to tackle how it actually sounds, we're going to introduce the bass notes, or as many as we can, that the piano plays, while still keeping it as easy as possible. So, the picking pattern with the right hand is going to change slightly, and I'm going to talk you through how it actually changes so you can get your head around it. And think of this as a completely different section to the verse. As I said, if you're really struggling with this song anyway, you should be working on the verse chords through the chorus, because it will work just as well. So let's go through the chorus then. Now, to get it to sound like the original, you're going to have to alternate the bass notes, so they're going to chop and change a little bit. The first chord is still based off of that A major chord, but instead of playing the 2nd fret of the 1st finger with the thumb, the first note you're going to play is the really bassy sounding A. The picking pattern is going to go like this. Thumb on the bass A note, and then you're going to do the 1st and 2nd fingers where it was before. So you've got bass, 1, 2, 1. Then instead of playing the bass again, you play basically what you did in the verse on the 2nd time. So the first time you've got a bass on the low A, then, so I would spend some time just on this A major chord getting used to this picking pattern. And then again, bass, then this 1st finger there, playing it with the thumb. So the thumb with the 1st finger on the left hand. Because this pattern is what we're going to do for the chorus. Bass, and then as it was, bass. Okay, so the chorus then, you're going to play that twice. The 2nd chord here, we're not going to be able to play the bass note because it's a little bit too much of a stretch. So I've scrapped that bass note completely. So you just play it exactly how it was on the verse. So the 1st chord, then just as it was before. Next one then, you're going to have to do the thumb over the neck approach, which I call the baseball bat grip. Again, rexpearson.com if you haven't got a clue what I'm talking about, because I've prepped all my students on there who have been following my courses to know what this is. But the thumb over the neck approach, you're going to place the thumb so that it is able to fret on the 2nd fret, the F sharp, on the low E here. The 1st finger is going to then be on this F sharp minor chord, because that's what we're doing, F sharp minor chord. And you're going to do the pattern that we did on the A major chord. So you're going to play the bass, 1, 2, 1, and then the thumb is going to move, because we're alternating the thumb here, onto the 2nd fret where the 1st finger is, which is very similar to how we did it on the verse. So the first part, then the next part. So you're going to have, hopefully you're starting to pick up this pattern of going with the bass note with the thumb, the 1 and 2 and 1, and then the bass note moving. Then we're going to do the same thing again with the D major chord, do a full D major chord with the left hand, and then we're going to play the bass on the D string, the open D. Then it moves to where the 1st finger is. So you've got bass, 1, 2, 1, thumb, 1, 2, 1. So the whole chorus section then sounds like this. Just as before on this one, F sharp minor. Then you repeat. Alright, I did forget to mention, just before we go into this bridge section, about the pre-chorus. There's an extra little chord added on at the end before it goes back into the chorus. I just wanted to show you that. Normally you finish up on this F sharp minor chord here where you're flattening across the 2nd fret. And then you go into the chorus. Second time you do the pre-chorus, however, it adds a little 4th finger here, after you've done those 2, onto this chord shape, and it sounds like this. So you need to add that in there before going into the chorus, which happens just before the bridge. Chorus, done. Next section is the bridge, which is quite, takes a little bit getting used to, and you're going to be using shapes that you wouldn't normally use. So let's get straight in there on the bridge. Section 4. Bridge section then, you're going to be using the 3rd and 4th fingers a little bit on this one. You might wonder why, but when you see the 2nd chord of this, you'll understand, because it sets you up nicely to move into the next chord. The notes, 3rd finger on the 4th fret on the G string, the 4th finger on the 5th fret on the B string. Those 2 notes there. And then you're going to do a thumb on the low E. So you're going to have the same picking pattern as before. Thumb, 1, 2, 1. And you do it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you move into the 2nd position, which is sliding up these fingers 2 frets. So you're now on the 6 and 7. And a bit of a stretch now, the 1st finger is going to have to come around and tackle the 4th fret on the A string. So you're going to have the same picking pattern 4 times. 3, 4. Next up, you're going to have, it's based off of a D chord here. You release the chord shape completely, and then you're going to have to line up on the 4th finger on the 10th fret, and the 1st finger on the 7th fret. So the 1st finger sounds like this, 4th finger sounds like this, and your bass note with your thumb is going to be the open D. So you're going to have like that. So far, let me just recap what we've got. We've got 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Next chord is based off of a B minor. The 3rd finger, you can see, is already hovering in the right place. It goes down on the 7, 8, 9th fret there. A bit of a mind blank. And then you bar across with the 1st finger on the 7th fret. So you've got same picking pattern as before. When you hit this B minor chord, things start getting quicker, as in the changes happen at double the speed. So you're only going to do 2 now on each one. So that's your B minor there. Next one is based off of an A major chord. 3rd finger on the 11th fret, 1st finger on the 9th fret, and then finally the 2nd finger on the B string here on the 10th fret. Same finger picking pattern, but twice. Next one is going to be based off of a D chord, and you're going to be playing the 12th with the 3rd finger, the 11 with the 2nd finger, and the 1st finger is going to handle the 10th. Same picking pattern as before. 1, 2. Then finally you slide this shape up 2 frets to finish off 1, 2. And then you're going to add, on the very end of this, just to really polish it off, the 4th finger goes down where your 2nd finger is, so you're going to have a shape that looks a little bit like this, and you give it a short strum. So check out the beginning of this video where I play the each section for you, and have a listen to how that sounds all together. That section there is for advanced guitarists. If you're a beginner, intermediate guitarist, give it a whirl, see how it goes. If you're finding it really difficult, you can always come back to this lesson and check out section 4, because that is a big jump from 1, 2 and 3 that we've already covered. The bridge section is actually quite difficult. So don't worry if that was a little bit over your head, because the positions there are not usual chord shapes that you would normally use. You've got to remember we're playing it from a piano, so it's not made for a guitar, but this is how you can play the exact version on a guitar. So, final section then is what happens after we've just done that bridge and the outro, which will appeal to beginner and intermediate guitarists. That section there, the bridge, is only for advanced guitarists, okay? Hope you enjoyed that. Let's check out the next section.